Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fire Station Building Committee meeting of Wednesday, October 23rd, 6:30 here at the Lakeville Police Station. Lakeham is recording the meeting. Is anybody else here in recording? All right, then. We can all rise for a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. How's everybody doing?
Wonderful.
Weather's been great.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be experiencing darker snow. I know. I'm not ready for this. Okay. On the agenda, we have a placeholder to approve meeting minutes, but we do not have any at this time to approve. So we'll just move that off to our next meeting. We'll be getting an update momentarily from Pomeroy and Associates. So we have Alex and Kyle here with us this evening. So just a quick update. The select board meeting this past Monday evening, on the agenda, we had the discussion with a vote to hold a special election for the debt exclusion for the fire station building project. And our town clerk, Lillian Drain, was in attendance, because obviously it's important that our town clerk be part of that conversation. So the date that we had voted on for the special election will be Tuesday, January 28th. And we'll get information out there. And this is contingent upon the article passing on town floor at our special town meeting scheduled for November 12th. So if it passes there, then we'll move on to the special ballot or the ballot election for the project. And I think that was the only other update. I know we'll be getting to the assessment sheet for the tax purposes for the bond borrow. We had the Treasurer Collector's Office reach out to bond counsel to do some calculations for us based on the construction cost budget of $21,900,000. That's what it was based on. So we'll get to that when we get through the project update. So at this time, I'd like to turn this over to Alex, if you can, just give us a quick update.
Yeah. Not too much to talk about tonight. Thanks, Lorraine, for talking about the election already. This is great news, because if we would wait till April, there was many more cons to waiting to April. The obvious one being escalation. And then it would also put our design team on hold for those 6 months. So hopefully, the article gets approved on the 12th, and we go forward on the 28th, and that gets approved, and we can get the green light and go forward. Just talking about schedule now, Kyle, that we have kind of these tentative dates. I think for next meeting, we can put together a schedule for you all as far as kind of what's going to happen next, again, pending approvals of everything with construction documents, pre-qualification, and actual construction timeline. So I think we can start putting that together maybe for next meeting, now that we got those dates. I do want to talk a little bit about pre-qualification, because likely I'll be the person from our office spearheading this process. For any public project in Massachusetts over $10 million, or estimated value over $10 million, there's a pre-qualification process that's laid out. And it basically makes sure that the general contractors and the filed sub-bids are legitimate. For lack of a better term. There's certain standards that they need to meet, certain documents that they need to present to us. It's a little bit of a tedious process, but the OPM runs it. There needs to be a member, at least one member of the design team, if not two, I can't remember the number, and at least 2 members from the town that need to be involved in that pre-qualification committee. This will be my 4th one, so I've become the resident expert in this. It's a little bit time consuming, but again, when that comes down the line, I'll make sure that everybody knows what they're doing. We're probably not looking at that until maybe late February, March, again, following our timeline. But I figured I'd mention it tonight, since I'm here and I'm probably going to be the one spearheading it. As far as other updates, since last meeting, there's no updates to the budget, no updates to the design. Really, it's just kind of our push now to, town meeting. So, yeah, that's really all that I have. I think I'm going to turn it over to Kyle to talk a little bit more about the marketing side.
Yeah, so design-wise, we are still pushing forward. We still have plenty of room in what's already been approved, so we are making progress. We're making little tweaks. Nothing major yet, but just trying to work out a few things. And once we kind of have enough of those, we'll sit down first with the fire department and then bring those updates for you. But we kind of felt that from a outreach standpoint, the last go around, the renderings and plans are pretty much what will be set. We're not making major changes, so we don't want to keep updating things and change it right before this. So, yeah, there's not really any real update on design wise. I did pass out a draft of the flyer. So we took, kind of, through email, a bunch of people had some comments, on what would be on this. Again, I think these two renderings are one version ago, but we'll get the, last ones we sent out, new renderings and a revised video, to Pomeroy last week, so they can go on the website, so everything's up to date. So these will all match that in the final version. All I really wanted to talk about today is language on this. The front is kind of an introduction, and then we have some basic information on the back for the building, but images, plans, you know, any ideas on language, what should be on here, shouldn't be on here. You know, my initial thoughts are some things that might be considered as dates about the town meeting. Maybe some information on that to
Okay, I
help
think
remind
that's good,
people.
yep.
But I'm open for comments, thoughts, and, you know, if we can get kind of some consensus on what language should go on here or any adjustments, then we'll pull it together and have it ready in time.
I think
for
that's great.
Ninth.
The information that you're seeing on here now, you know, I had just sent to Kyle to, you know, to at least get it started. You know, so this flyer will be available, we'll get this up on the, you know, the website, and we'll be able to, you know, put it out and, you know, share, you know, just to get this out to individuals. But I think it would be important to possibly get that town meeting information on here. Trying to think of how we could, I guess, looking at this with, you know, where it has the project information here, where you have location, I would say, proposed fire station location.
Is there, there's no set address yet for that lot, is there? We were assuming no. I mean, it didn't come up on Google, but there's no.
There wasn't one for this one either.
No, usually the numbers aren't given until
Yeah.
there's something there, but, I know it was like 23 or 20, I think that was 25, this is 23. Like, we can guess, but without a lot, I didn't.
We can talk to the assessors and see what that number would be assigned, to get a number on it.
I mean, I think most people in town will understand Bedford Street at Ted Williams Camp, but, I don't know if there's something more specific that, or a different way to kind of identify that.
Because this is 323.
Yeah.
So that likely would be 321.
Yeah, I think the athletics place is 325.
Yeah.
So I was kind of assuming that based on the jumping that was 21, but, if it doesn't exist, I don't know if putting it on there really helps anyways, so.
This might be overthinking it, but, one of the misconceptions was that it was in the camp versus on the main road.
Right.
And so I don't know how to articulate that in location. You could,
You want to put parentheses Route 18 or something?
or adjacent to the police
Bedford
station.
Street,
I would
Route
take
18.
away the at Ted Williams. Yeah, my suggestion would be just say proposed address, 321 Bedford Street. Leave it at that, Route 18, whatever.
Route
In
18.
parentheses, Route 18.
Yeah.
All right. Would it be advantageous to, if, because I know that it gets, the more, the more you put the graphics on here, the smaller and smaller the graphics get, but if we were to move this graphic onto the front, and put the layout that you had,
The site plan, so we thought about that.
okay,
I think once we talk about how much language we end up on here, because, so the plan becomes, if it's not that size, it becomes pretty useless.
Yes.
Because it's hard to read
Right.
even now, like, we have to take all the text off, you know, it becomes very kind of generic. We could go with a site plan opposed to this,
no, I like
but we're not
this,
really kind of
Yeah.
showing
the
what's
inside.
in there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we can always, on the, during the 9th, that we have the open session, is just have the site plan up, available.
We could also try, I mean, all this is very big to kind of take up space, so we can shrink some of this information and put a small site plan here or direct, you know, kind of identify the site some way, whether it
Okay.
shows detail or not, but it can be at least a map that kind of says, this is where it's going, to show that it's right on Bedford Street.
Is there any advantage to having two different pieces of information here? I mean, looking at this, sometimes when you look at a document, you're trying to sell something, you're trying to make people aware of what's going on. Just the way this is seems really, really clean to me. You know, where, you know, you look at it and you say, well, this is great. And, you know, this almost becomes one handout as a, you know, general information, and then you have a more refined document.
Yeah.
You know, just something, you know, a lot of times, and Lorraine, I've heard you say this about our town website, you know, if it's more than a couple of clicks, you give up. This is a pretty good overview of what we're doing here. And, you know, for most people that look at it and like, yeah, we're supporting it anyway, it kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like, and you're not trying to cram all the information in. And then you have a more detailed, you know, specific document, maybe with less images and less frills, but more facts.
I mean, I think we could, obviously, if you're at the event, we're gonna have some boards, you're gonna have more information there. We can easily put a QR code on here that'll take to the website, the website you guys.
Yeah,
can
that'd be
make
cool.
it,
That would
Either
be
the
good.
town, or
Yep.
which would
That's a
then
good idea.
allow you to see more information. It can say, you know, more information here, but I think you wanna keep it relatively clean, but you wanna make sure you have the right information or useful information on there.
So just by the feedback, the poster boards that we've been showing around, the people have been really drawn to these graphics. They're not really getting into the weeds of the floor plans as much, but they are focusing on the visual concept of the building, and it's been favorable. They especially this bottom view, they don't view it as being a monstrosity. They kept on talking about the size of the building, Not it doesn't look too big. It doesn't look too big. Like they kept on harping on the fact that the scale was right. So this got a lot of positive feedback on that bottom image. They seem to focus on that.
Maybe Kyle, you know, move this project information up maybe under here, and then maybe put a couple of boxes here, you know, dates or important dates, upcoming dates, special town meeting. You know, I'd put the day of the week, and
Yeah.
then, you know, November 12th, 2024 with the time. I can get all that information, and I would put article, whatever the article is. And then, on the other side, I would put, the scheduled election, special election for the debt exclusion. And then the date, and then the times, and at least it would be on here, but I think you're right, this is very clean.
Yeah, we definitely have some room to add a few things, so getting that information on here, so if somebody has it, you know, they know what's coming up. And then I think a QR code, because we have the information elsewhere, so we can direct them to one of the websites that'll allow them to go more, because if they don't go to this event to see the flyer, at least they can get.
Is there a graphic? Is another common comment, but we're running into during our outreach, is people thought it was already approved. They keep on saying, you know, when does it start? When does it start? how many times we have to vote for this? And so maybe, is there a graphic that we can do to show what we have accomplished, what we have voted for? And then maybe the two items that are left to take care of, because they seem to get locked up on the fact that they think they've already voted and approved this.
You could
Which scares
probably
me.
put a timeline on the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take up
Nothing
an
too
awful lot of
detailed.
Room just to say, you know, what's
This is
been
what
done.
happened in
Yep.
this date, so
Phase one.
such and such,
Phase two.
phase two,
Yeah. And then entering phase three.
yeah.
It surprises me like how often that's the comment. They like, why are you still doing this? They think it's already a done deal. So it's not a bad thing, bad comment, but it surprises me. It scares me a little bit too.
Well, yeah, because you want those people to come
Come back
forward.
again.
Not
Yeah.
just go, oh, I thought it was done.
Yeah.
So, I can make sure that I get you that information, tomorrow. Bob, well,
And your last day.
What do you want me to do?
no, I'll take it. Just show up tomorrow, okay? Yeah, I'll send you whatever I gotta send you for.
Yeah, no, that's
Put this
good.
in. If at all possible, I'd like to get it up on the website for Monday.
Yeah, I mean, they're easy changes, so
Okay.
as long as, that information, we can make those adjustments, circulate it, and then we'll just, is your site is separate from the.
Yep, our site is separate, but Molly from our office has been updating it this week with some of these graphics that you see here as well.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want a QR code to go to their site or to the town site, that would
We'll
be.
come to the town site, have it come to the town site, and then, what we'll do is, now that we'll get the link,
Okay,
to
can send it
yours
to you.
as well.
yep.
I think we have that QR code. Didn't we have that on something?
The poster boards.
Yeah, they went to the town, right? So I should have it. I'll look in the morning. If we don't have one that's live, then I'll let you know.
Because I know as, more information comes in, we're gonna make sure that we get it up on our website, and I don't wanna miss not getting it to you guys
Right.
to put on yours, if that's where
Yeah.
Yep.
it's going. But speaking of the 9th, who is available to be there? Okay, Peter will be there, Chief, you'll be there, Bob, you'll be there.
What was the time?
At least one of us will be there. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. Unfortunately, it's Cohen's, second birthday that day that was already scheduled, so, and it's the exact same time, so 10:30 to 1:30. But,
You could have the birthday party at the event as well. It's,
I tried to convince Kendall that would be a good thing to do.
2-year-olds
but-
love fire trucks.
I was gonna say, you might see my 2-year-old there.
I can try to make it. Saturdays are tough for me, but it would definitely be towards the end of it, like noonish. I don't get out of synagogue till 11:30, so.
And I'm sure some of your team will be there as well.
absolutely.
Great. Awesome.
This would be really good to put out on social too. If you guys get this graphic from, once you finalize it, even just this, putting that out, has all the information on there. I think that would be great.
We have somebody in-house that, will get up that.
Perfect.
There. And then we'll just have everybody share it,
Blast it out.
blast it, yes. But this is good. I know you have your recognition evening, coming up.
Monday, yep.
And, so we'll, that's why I was hoping we would have these available too.
Yeah, I
Just
mean, it
for
won't,
people
it
to-
won't take us long to make these changes, so.
Okay.
What time's the recognition on that?
6:30 PM at the COA.
So we didn't do the Loon Pond Lodge version. Okay.
What's that?
I thought we were gonna try to do it at Loon Pond Lodge and make it more,
Oh, grandiose.
yeah.
I think we'll fill the room up. It'll be I don't think we need the lodge. We'll be fine.
So, what time?
6:30 PM.
18:30 on the 28th.
All right. Also in the packet was the, breakdown of the obligation for the borrow. We did, for 20 years, on one side and then 25 on the other. And, based on the 24 assessed evaluation, for the town, the average single-family home value was $550,525. And then the 24 median home value, 500 and 3,200. So the debt service, you know, upon the borrow shows exactly, you know, what the impact would be on the, you know, on the homes, so. We are currently working on putting the calculator up on our website as well. There's some information that I have to provide the assessors. And obviously, I think IT has to be involved a little bit just to kind of get that, you know, implemented. And the residents will be able to put in their assessed value in the, you know, the fixed information would be there and it would
That's
just
great.
calculate that, so. I'm wondering if we sent this to you, would you be able to put it on a, you know, like format, or like
Yeah.
just put the borders around it and just,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, keep the, you know, all the information on here, but just,
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't get that calculator up.
I don't know if we're gonna make it
the
that
tax
much.
impact per 100,000 is pretty good, you know? I mean, you don't need the tax calculator if you look at that, it's right here, I'm just saying, do you know what I mean? That's pretty good, it's better than the other two figures, I think, but
I mean,
if
for,
people want exact numbers.
for being able to read this better, you know, I don't know if you do it in 5-year increments or something.
Right.
Instead of like, you know, all the
I know what you
top
mean.
information's really important and the
Right.
bottom information's kind of important, but you can show how it grows, but we don't necessarily need to show every
year by
year. That way
right.
you can see it opposed to trying to fight through this kind of small document. Because I'm just scaling it, doesn't look like it would get much bigger. Doesn't look like it's about as good as it's gonna get.
right, but
So-
if you know, I'm talking about your little red border around.
Yeah, we could do that, but
Yeah.
it's still gonna be difficult to read. So it's up, either way.
Yeah,
And we can do it both ways. We can just lay this in the border and see if that's,
Yeah.
and send it over, or we can look at, you know, striking out some of the in-between years and just giving
I feel like the
A
5-year,
5-year
the 5-year average works nice with the 20 and the 25, and it feels like it makes more sense than looking at it year by year. Kind of to your point, now you only have either 4 or 5.
Yeah, you kind of see how it progresses without the details, and again, you can have the full list on the website or something like that, but it is difficult to read at this scale and follow what's going on.
Does this make assumptions? I'm just curious if it makes assumptions for new growth. So, you know, as we create more housing in Lakeville over that time period and this presumably substantial new growth, that means that the share of this borrowing will become less per existing household over time. Does it not?
I don't think so.
Not by anything substantial.
And I know, it came in that they were using a conservative, you know, percentage on this too, so. But by the time, you know, the project, you know, is approved and then so there'll be some short-term borrowing, I'm sure, ahead of time, and then, you know, the long-term.
Is there any way to articulate when, I know the library just came off, our debt in, last year. And we know that the police department comes off. What was the date on that?
I don't recall right off the top of my head.
Whoever, we had the email exchange. I can look it up, but it's not that far out, really. I was kind of surprised how soon it comes off the debt as well.
It's probably like 4 years or so.
Yeah,
But still, by the time this
this thing
It's
ramps
not-
up. It's only gonna be a couple years of overlap as well. So it's,
Perhaps the debt exclusion is just to pay for the project. It's a wash. So if you start using debt exclusion money and not using it I mean, you're gonna have other obligations that new growth is gonna be used for.
all right. I just didn't know if it was somehow like an impact on the check we're writing for our taxes. If, you know, things are coming off the rolls and, you know what I mean? I didn't know if it
It
was
should
a,
help the operating budget. I mean, if the voters vote for debt exclusion, it's debt exclusion for 20 years, 25 years, however long.
Right.
I wouldn't start playing around with it, because then it's gonna impact the operating budget. Like hiring firefighters,
oh, we need that.
meeting collective bargaining agreements, fixed costs.
Anybody have anything else on this? Like to add? No? Okay, I don't believe we have any invoices to approve this
Nope,
evening.
no invoices.
So,
Nice.
we'll
free
just
money.
move that to the next.
They work for free this month. Good job. I like it. The finance, I keep it.
Madam Chair, was any thought given to having, like a late cam type, interview like we do with the candidates running for office, having, Joanne Upham or somebody sit down and interview some members of this committee about this project and kind of disseminating it, or pushing it out over late cam?
Well, Lake Cam, then they would feel there'd be someone from the opposing side as well. I'm just saying, if you,
There's
you
people
know,
that
be
oppose this?
responsibility for Lake Cam to,
Nobody
if they're
opposes
promoting it, they're
Yeah.
supposed to be objective, they should also have someone in opposition.
They can do a separate interview, right?
Yeah, they can do an interview, sure, they can interview you.
I just thought,
But if you have an official, like, candidates, like a question for them, it'll be prominent.
I know I watch all the candidate videos and I know a lot of people do, so it's pretty,
Yeah, you can still do it.
I could reach out to her, see if she's
Yeah,
willing.
reach out to them, doesn't hurt.
We definitely have, Lake Cam will, they were at the other open forum that we had. I think it was, we didn't have it, but I think one of the developers had it. Rhino was in there having an open forum just to give information out to people. I believe that they were there for that. So possibly they can be here for this. And then they could just interview people that would be willing to talk. So that might be something, if you'd like to reach out to Jose,
Okay.
see if he'd be interested.
Has there been much covered in the Nemasket about it?
We should probably,
Give Ann a call.
I'd like to make sure that they do something for, to get this out there too, so.
Yeah.
maybe
They did,
Chief.
they did one
Anna's here all
story.
the time. I was actually, she's always at select
meetings,
board,
yep.
So,
She's covered the approvals. She put out an article, actually, it was, the one prior to, I can't remember her name, but she put out an article, Lakeville has a burning need for a new fire station. That was the name of the article. So,
She interviewed me the other day about the warrant, and she asked a lot of questions about the fire station article, so, the debt exclusion, so I'm sure that'll be the highlight of the article, I would think.
And so maybe you can, reach out to Anna and see if she'll, do something, to talk a little bit about the open,
okay.
the open session for information. Oh, that's a good idea. Any old business, new business? I have some, new business. I'd like to formally thank Mr. Nunes for, his 9 months of participation here at the fire station building project. I feel like you've just been this permanent fixture and it's been great, and it's gonna be, just a little strange not looking over my right to see you there on these meetings and my left on the select board meetings, but thank you very much for all the
thank you.
time
thank you.
Thank you.
that you've put in. Your, direction and support has been very appreciated.
Thank you. Wish you all the best. It's been great working with you, and good luck on January 28th. I'll be watching from afar,
How far?
right down 44.
So you could drive there and watch it.
No, I don't want to be seen.
You don't want to have to talk to Richie.
So our next
Right, exactly.
scheduled meeting, just pull this up here,
13th,
the 13th, so it would be, right after.
the day after.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So, it is,
That's ominous.
we are scheduled here, and we'll have the conversation, that morning
Mhm.
to say,
Mhm.
okay,
Yep.
awesome. Okay, if there's no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
All right, and I guess we'll just do a quick roll, just because we haven't taken any other votes this evening. Larry,
Moon's eye.
Brian, aye.
Carboni, aye.
Starling, aye.
Conroy, aye.
Costa and I, sorry.
All
was dozing.
Exactly 1/2 hour.
All right, wow.
It's because I ran. It was
That's
me
all right.
instead of Taylor.
Taylor, get a little.